Hello and welcome to another Wii review with me, Dave Bignell. Today I'm reviewing House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return for the Wii! Oh yes. This can be played one player or two players with using the Wii remotes, or you can use the Wii Zapper, which I highly recommend with using this because it just feels like you've got a gun in your hand, which I think is essential when you're playing shooter games like this. If you're not quite sure what the Wii Zapper is, check out my review of Wii Link's Crossbow Training, which is the game that comes with the Zapper. Being shown on your screen right now is House of the Dead 2 in arcade mode, which is a replica of the actual arcade game. It's exactly the same, but obviously the benefits of this are you haven't got a gun that's connected to a chain to the arcade machine, and you don't have to put money in your Wii when you run out of lives. That's amazing. You just buy the game and then you've got it. You don't have to spend an absolute fortune like you do in the arcade to keep playing. So that's great. And try not to force any coins into your Wii because it will break it. There's no need. There are lots of different modes to House of the Dead 2. This is arcade mode. There's also original mode. And in that, throughout the game, you can unlock certain things, and in original mode, you can use them. And they're kind of hacks, I suppose, to the game, because you can change the way the gun is. You can have like a sort of weird pea shooter type gun. You can change the way you look. It doesn't really change the game too much, but it kind of hacks it around a little bit, which makes it more interesting. If you're amazing at arcade mode, gives you something else to do. I am not amazing at arcade mode. I find this very hard. And I haven't actually completed it yet, so sorry to all of you who are thinking, oh, how can you review the game if you haven't completed it? Well, I've got right to the end, and I can't kill that last boss just yet without dying. So for that reason, I think it's better to play it two-player because you have two people looking out. I do play the game on normal mode. There is also easy and very hard and all that, and they get unlocked as you're playing as well, so that's good. The response between the Wii Remote and the game and where the pointer is perfect. There's no flaws in that at all. It's exactly where you imagine it would be, and yeah, it works very well. And the remote obviously rumbles when you shoot things, and it just gives it that sort of realistic, but also slightly scary feel. House of the Dead 3 now, and what I think is brilliant is they haven't tried to sell the two games separately to earn more money. They've bundled them both together. So well done, Sega. Thanks for that. The difference between House of the Dead 3 and 2, mainly, I think, is firstly, 3 is much smoother, it looks better, and it's slightly easier, and I've been able to complete this one, so hurrah! And the only thing I kind of miss is in the second one, you have to save civilians, and you have to make sure you don't shoot them. There's none of that in the third one, so there's no risk of accidentally shooting someone, but every now and then the second player or the other person you're with gets kidnapped and you have to rescue them from the zombies, so I suppose that's the version. But it's quite fun when you have people running out of rooms and you're like, oh, is it the zombie, is it a human? And then you accidentally shoot the person you're supposed to save. So that sort of element's gone, but I think that's what makes it a bit easier. House of the Dead 3, like 2, has cutscenes, a little storyline following the whole thing, which, to be honest, doesn't really make a massive amount of sense in the second one. You kind of watch it and go, okay, but I don't really understand what that's about. And the acting, voice, talent on there is pretty appalling. I think it's been translated a bit weird, because some people say some weird stuff in the game, and you think it doesn't really make a massive amount of sense. House of the Dead 3, as with 2, has all sorts of different settings and different modes you can go into. On House of the Dead 3, if you complete it under certain conditions, a special version of it unlocks for the Wii with different controls, especially for the Wii Remote, so that's pretty cool. There's also a time attack thing where you try and complete it as quickly as possible and try and beat your time, which is very difficult. It's just great that, you know, people with different levels of experience on this game can come in and do all sorts of different things, and they can keep challenging themselves, trying to do it quicker and all that kind of thing, so it's great. The negative points of both these games is, obviously there's a lot of violence, but that's the appeal of this game as well. And all you do is shoot people. There's not really any more to it than that. You don't solve puzzles, you don't really collect things. You can get a few unlockable things, but generally you're just going around shooting things. So it's the same thing throughout the game, and some people might grow a bit bored of that because that's all you do. The positive points of this game is it's exactly the same as in the arcade, and the fans of this game, and obviously this was a massive title for Sega, will love this because it's exactly the same. You could do it from the comfort of your own home with two people, and the way it rumbles on the Wii remote, and if you're using the Wii Zapper, it just works brilliantly. So that's absolutely great. My final review of this would be a 6 out of 10. I know I've rated it quite low, but that is because there's no real variation to it, and you sort of play it for quite a while, and then you think, oh, I don't want to play it, and you sort of don't play it for another couple of weeks, and then you rediscover it and think, oh, I want to play that again. It's not a game you'd come to every single day and play it, because there's no real variation in it. But still, excellent stuff, really enjoyable if you like killing things, and it's quite a stress reliever if you've had a bad day at work. Come back and kill some things. It's always good. But not real things, of course. You must understand that. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe to my Wii reviews. You can do this by visiting my YouTube channel, or indeed www.davebignell.co.uk/wii.htm. More reviews coming soon.